Okay, the 1st of June has arrived, some 14 days to go. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I don't see any real signs that his carriers are still in range. So what that means is that I still have, another day to move troops around and unload supplies and fuel and all of that kind of stuff. Shape below the surface. Okay, doesn't seem. There we go. They've shown up again. Now, which way are they going? That'll be the question. They probably went back to refuel and rearm, because this looks like, it'd be about 1 day out of Paramushiro Jima. So that kind of makes sense. Okay, so this time he's going to have to push past Atu, because I didn't waste forces trying to defend it when he last attacked. Right, now let's just see. 5 moving east. Okay, let's check the SIGINT. Nothing really useful. Yeah. 16153. Okay, well, yeah, they're not there. They haven't gotten that far without being spotted, to be fair to them. Okay, so you're going to dock and you're going to unload. Now, let's just see. He probably has a movement speed for this carrier task force, if that's what it is, of 4 hexes a phase, so 8 hexes a turn. So where can he get to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can get to here, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hexes from Kiska. And if we look at his dive bombers, yeah, they can fly 6 hexes. And if we look at his torpedo bombers, they can fly 7 with torpedoes or 9 without. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he would be in good range to hit both Atu and Kiska with them. Now, he had some A6M5 Bs, and they can go. Well, they can certainly cover that. And then he had some A6M3s. They can go 7 hexes, okay. And A6M2s, okay. So look, essentially, so long as he's within 7 hexes, he can escort his strikes. And this is the perfect position to end up here, which is within 7 hexes exactly of Kiska, and much closer to Atu. Okay, so I have to assume that that is what he wants to do. Yep. And so we are going to move our submarines, hopefully in his way, by shifting them down. And down 3. Does that go? Yeah, 3, 3, 3. And then these guys will move a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. To here. And then these guys will move to here. So let's see what that looks like. There, 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 and there. Okay. Now, he probably won't make for Adak, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to make another little barrier there just in case. And then the S33 is going to go just in front of Atu in case he tries to sneak in there. No, just in case it's a deception, I'll keep the 2 submarines here to protect against him coming in, you know, directly across and then down, or down and then directly across. So we'll keep this one here as well. We've got 5 subs hunting him. That's a reasonable number to commit there. Okay, now they only have 230 tons left, so they can certainly make a run for home. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, well, I'd rather them go something like this. Right, so they're going to go directly east, and that'll do the most possible in terms of keeping them out of the range of the Japanese carrier. So that's the LST convoy at Atu taken care of. And then the other convoy has only begun unloading, but again, if they stay there, they die, so they might as well try and get the hell out. So what we're going to do with these guys is the exact same. We're going to run them directly east. The DMS and the AK, we're going to run them directly east till they're just northwest of Dutch Harbour, and then they're going to pop down into it. Okay, and that is the way they are set, and they're at full speed, so they will make 10 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they'll be there in like 2 days. And very importantly, you know, depending on what he does, I can have them just dip down into Adak proper quite easily tomorrow. And the same with the LSTs. They'll get what? They'll get 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3 in a phase, and then another 3, 1, 2, 3. And then if I decide to get them down to Adak Island, they will be able to get there in just over 1 phase, automatically disband, and be under my fighter cover. And right, the other LST task force has 3,500 tons, but it's going to be in range by tomorrow. So let's be safe, pull ourselves back, and let us set that task force to auto disband, which it is, and let's set it to full speed. So it has 5 hexes to go to Adak, and it will cover 6 hexes in the day, which means that it will be in Adak and auto disbanded by the time the Japanese try to launch their attacks. So, okay, that should dodge the Japanese attacks. Now, why do I have suddenly more points? 524 points. That's more than I had before. I don't know what's happened there. Well, I expanded the port and the airfield, didn't I? Yeah, I expanded the airfield on one of the captured islands, and I get points for that. Okay, so right, we're building some fortifications. And we're building, wow, we're building, we're almost 85% to level 2 forts. Wow, that's going to be a nightmare for them. Okay, well, I can build up port capacity there. I'll let Kiska become level 2 ports, or level 2 fortifications, and then I'll keep expanding the ports because I get points whenever I do that. And this is a point-based game, so, you know, I have to play the game. And we'll move that fragment of the P-40 squadron from Kiska to Adak. If you notice that I'm trying to be more fulsome in my descriptions rather than, oh, I'll move this there and those guys there, that's because of a comment, which was that if you're not actually looking at the screen so much and trying to follow along, it's very confusing when I refer to everything as this goes there. So I'm trying to be a little bit more precise. Let me know if this is helpful. So we're checking on the 2 task forces docked at Dutch Harbour now. And one task force, which is taking about 15,700 tons of fuel, is here, and it's going to take about 13,500 tons of supply. And the other task force, which is already there, is comprising of 3 fast AKs, which have 15,000 tons loaded. And again, they're not fully loaded. They could take 18,500, but 15,000 is an awful lot better than nothing. And having that in Adak is an awful lot better than having it sunk on the way. They go 10 hexes in a day, and wouldn't you know it, Adak is exactly 10 hexes from them. So they are going to run to Adak, and they are going to auto disband, and I'm setting them to not refuel because I want to reserve the fuel for combat shipping. So now we're at Adak, and I have one cargo ship there which is unloading, and it has 800 tons left, so that'll be done tomorrow, and it's going to then also disband into Adak port. I have the 3 surface combat task forces that I've now divided into. One light cruiser task force headed by Rear Admiral Scott, comprising 3 light cruisers and 5 destroyers for 8 ships. Then I have a heavy cruiser task force, which is 4 destroyers, or 4 heavy cruisers and 5 destroyers under Ching Li, and then, which is again 9 ships, and then I have the 3 battleships with 6 destroyers attached. Oh no, 7 destroyers attached, and that is a 10-ship task force under Rear Admiral Blake. And all of my admirals have been chosen for naval ability and aggressiveness, so they should put up a good fight. In terms of Adak Island, let's open that. Yeah, I have level 4 ports, and they are at 79% of the way to level 5. So again, level 5 will give them even faster unloading and more ability to rearm without using AEs and ADs and submarine tenders and so on and so forth. So that's good. In terms of aviation support, I have 248 aviation support, slightly less than I need. I have 287 planes there, which means my airfield is a little overcrowded, but nothing disastrous. And yeah, that's pretty much that. The next thing I'll build is the airfield capacity. But I'm building the port capacity because I'm expecting him to damage more of my shipping, and having level 5 ports to immediately dock it into may potentially save that shipping. Okay, so the 3 combat task forces are not set to react, except for the heavy cruiser task force, which I'm happy to have run out and react and try and, you know, do stuff. I'm not going to commit it today, because if I were to guess wrong, it would just be in the middle of the ocean and like really, really vulnerable. In terms of my fighters, their fatigue is coming down nicely. The reconnaissance wildcats were still left on 50% caps, so they're a bit more fatigued than I would like, but I've dropped that back down to 30 now, so they should be doing substantially better. And then these kitty hawks were also on this cap. Okay. Air 41, aggression 61. Jeez, the Canadian leaders aren't really that hot. My apologies to Canada, but Jesus, guys. Okay, and then I have all of these planes. I have my 24 Wildcats ready to go. Let's build up some more reserve planes there. They're down a pilot, so let's see if I can't get a veteran, and I can. And air ability 81. Okay, well, just got one of those veterans coming. Great. Then these guys are all... The Canadians are all, relatively speaking, poor. The P-38s have maximized their pilots. Yeah, they've maximized their pilots. And the P-40s are on max pilots, and they have a good number of reserve airplanes. Okay, let's just put people in from the pool, or put planes in from the pool if I have them. And yeah, so that's pretty good. Like 9 kills and 2 written off. That's a pretty good squadron going there. Okay. And is there anything else I need to do? No, not really. Let's just check the weather. Thunderstorms. So really he wants to stay west of Kiska, because if he stays west of Kiska, he will be in partly cloudy and, you know, have a higher chance of being able to launch strikes than if he comes into this region here where it's thunderstorms. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, well, I need you to move 1 more hex down. This submarine 1 more hex down, because I want it to actually catch that ship, or that task force. So if he does sail in here on a straight line, he should run into 3 separate submarine task forces. And then the S-32, I'm going to make move again to the line I expect him to follow. So with any luck, if he does steam straight in, he'll run into 4 separate submarine task forces. And this is a lesson to people, you know. From what he wants to accomplish, doing a strike at 7 hexes would be kind of ideal. It keeps him out of the range of almost all of my fighter escorts, who can only go 6 hexes, and it means he can still escort his strikes and they won't be at extended range. So really then if you see his current position, it's very easy to calculate where he wants to end up, because he's going to want to end up 7 hexes from Kiska probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you see that, and then you backtrack that, and you go, that's 8 hexes from where he is now, which is normal cruising speed travel. And suddenly, you know, you've got a very high probability that he's going to end up in hex 150, 152, launch 7 hex strikes at Kiska, you know, and see where we go. Failing that, his other option would be to really steam in close to hex 157, 52, just the hex directly southwest of Kiska, and launch, you know, a 5 hex strike on Adak, you know, or failing that, the hex just to the west of it. But look, either way, he'll still have to run through the 4 subs to get there. And if he does make it very close, I will absolutely send my heavy cruisers and light cruisers out, you know, west of Adak, up to 9 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up to 9 hexes, which would mean that they'd run out at full speed under cover of darkness, see what's there, and then run immediately back to Adak. And, you know, potentially or ideally be back under the cap of Adak by morning time. So, yeah, he needs to be very careful if he gets within 9 hexes of me. You can see here, the heavy cruisers task force can move 9 hexes in a phase. The light cruiser task force can move 9 hexes in a phase. And the battleships can only do 6. But, you know, even still, 6 takes them to most of the spots within range of Adak for him. So, okay. Is there anything else we're doing? Return to Adak. Full speed, auto disband, don't refuel. Yeah, that's it. End the orders phase, and let's see what tomorrow brings us, and I hope you join me to see what tomorrow brings. Take care.